You know that sinking feeling you get in September when you realize the summer just flew by and that big project you swore you'd tackle is still sitting there untouched? The one that would have made your fall so much easier if you just found that time, but you got busy. I'm about to share with you exactly why that happens and 4 simple shifts that will make this summer different. Because here's the thing. It's not about having more time. It's about being intentional with the time you have. Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors. Each week we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, and resources to help you build enrollment, retain your top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we unlock the secrets of creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Hey there, it's Noelle. How are you doing? We are in, as I record this, at the beginning of July, and in a 2-week vacation, I call it. I'm not really doing a lot, but I'm enjoying time with family and not going to have a schedule. I can't even wait for that. I just want to drink coffee in the morning on the couch, my pajamas, or on the deck. That's what I want to do all day. I've actually been sitting here writing ideas on podcasts and had a conversation recently. I wanted to share some tips and ideas to get some of those projects done because I know how busy you are. Let's get into it, because if you've been staring at that same big project on your to-do list for months, whether it's revamping your onboarding system or organizing an enrollment process or finally getting your staff book updated, this episode is for you. And before you tell me summer is too crazy with vacations and coverage issues, let me stop you right there. A few years ago, when I finally set up my center to run without me and my sister leading it day to day so that I could focus on my coaching work, the director we have in place the first summer was in the classroom all summer. We had severe staffing issues. And then the next summer came and same thing, like there was some staffing issues, but then there were other things. We had construction going on. We just set ourselves up for some stuff. But we were just talking this year because her and I both want to be more intentional this summer with the work I'm doing and the work she's doing. And so we were chatting about it. And then I got on the phone with another director who was having the same conversation, just trying to tackle projects that we had planned, but somehow the summer just gets away from you, and we all want this summer to be different. Here's the thing. Summer doesn't have to steal your project time. Lack of intentionality does. Yes, you've got our typical curveballs that we all have, right? The call-outs, the projects that come up, like the kids, like all the things. But that's exactly why you need to be more intentional with your time, not less. So when you're not deliberate about protecting that project time, even the quietest week will slip away with nothing to show for it. Think about it this way. During the school year, you probably have a little bit more predictable rhythms with the schedule. When enrollment calls will be heaviest, when you'll need to prep for community events, maybe even when your licensing is going to happen. And summer throws us all out the window because our mindset, right? We hear summer, we hear, oh, relax, right? But we also have times when other people have different schedules, right? Our families are taking vacations. Maybe the assistant director's on vacation. Your staff are taking time out. And suddenly you're covering in ratios while trying to manage all the camps and all the things that you have going on. But without intentional planning, you will spend the summer in that reactive mode in the school year, to be honest, right? But I have some strategies under my Take Back Your Day framework. And the first thing that we talked about with both the directors I was chatting with about this topic is you got to shut your door, literally. Grab some earbuds, put your earbuds in, talk to whoever you work with in the office, an office manager, assistant director. If you don't have an assistant director, then you could talk to a lead teacher and start mentoring a lead teacher to be more of a leader, more the go-to person. You might already have that person. And create a plan with them that you need time uninterrupted. Then figure out your projects and put a real plan in place. And I personally know that if I want to get something done, I have to make appointments with myself on my calendar. And they're just as important as if you had a tour showing up. Because I know that one of the projects I know my director wants to work on, she always wants to work on nature, bringing more nature-based stuff into our program. And I love that. And she needs time to do it, right? Research, figure out what she's going to do, all the things that she has to do. And that's going to benefit the center, going to benefit the teachers are probably going to love it more. She'll be excited about it. We'll all be excited about this. And the kids will just thrive off of it. Let me walk you through my 4 strategies that work, and I'll give you some real practical steps. The first one is simplify your big projects. All right, so step 1 is simplify your project. What I know is we don't get this uninterrupted time all the time. And when you do, you're going to go in your office, you're going to shut the door, you're going to set everybody up. Do not interrupt me. I like to pick between 9:30 and 10:30 to start in the morning, like it's quieter, the kids are outside. The morning chaos has stopped. Another great time, I think, is like later on in the day during rest time, like that transition, maybe when they're outside in the afternoon, really setting that hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, or if you can do a couple hours, do that. But sometimes what happens is you get that time and you go in your office, shut the door, you're ready. And your first project that you think is going to be the best thing for the fall is onboarding the new teachers that you have coming. I think that's a great project to work on. And so you see that and you're like, oh my God, that's so big, right? You're not expected to get that project done in that hour, right? Because if you could, you'd be like a miracle worker. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to decide what you want to do, all the things. What I like to do is I like to write down the projects that I'm going to do. And then I write a to-do list under them. And I literally sit and think about, I'm just going to go with onboarding, an onboarding program. What does that look like? What are other people doing? I might write a note, like ask in Facebook groups what other people are doing on onboarding, like all those childcare center Facebook groups. Next, I might Google it. I might throw it into AI and ask AI. If you're using Google Gemini AI, that's a really good one for research. So do a deep research into onboarding, best practices in onboarding. Maybe you make a time to meet with a few of your employees and ask them about onboarding. Maybe you create a survey in SurveyMonkey and ask about that. Write the things you want to do, the research you want to do, or you might already know what you want to do. And so write it down. You want to create a video, you want to record part of it, make it simpler for yourself, save yourself time this year. You do that on Zoom. You could easily create a Canva profile, a Canva presentation, and then record your screen and yourself on Zoom. You don't have to have your face on it. And there's your recording, and you put it on a computer or email it to people. Write down the step-by-steps you want to do. And so what happens is you get into your hour and you just tackle that list. Make sure it's in order first of what you should do, but go down that list and work on that. Maybe it's a project that, like if we're talking about my director want the nature base, she might need to buy things for it. She needs to do research, create a budget of what the project would cost, get approval for it, then go buy everything. You think about the money piece too of certain projects, right? I guess in onboarding, it could be, are you buying a gift for the people? Or are you giving them 3 to 5 days in the classroom as an extra? That factors into the financials too. Take that big project and break it up into little pieces. When you get the hour, you end up getting to this point where I keep all mine in a notebook because I'm like a book freak. And I have a tab for each project I work on with a to-do list. When it's my time to work on whatever I'm going to work on, I open up my notebook and it says, all right, my next step is, what gifts do I want to buy new employees? Maybe I want to buy a little gift. We do these, they're so cute. These little backpacks on Amazon, and they're like pocketbook size-ish. And we do a sweatshirt. And we take both of those. She gives us a sweatshirt, but we go to a local printer and they'll print our logo on the little backpack, and then they make sweatshirts for us. And everyone gets a backpack and a sweatshirt after they've been there a little bit that we know they're going to show back up, right? After a week or two, we're like, yay. But no, yeah, that's something that you do. All right. The next step is in this whole process. The first step is break the project down into little pieces. Second step is we've talked about it already, the 1 hour daily routine. This is about using the strategic project hour, and it is step 3 of the Take Back Your Day process, where you have to plan this time. You have to be intentional. And so I was talking about getting things done. Our days are always going to be crazy. But if we are intentional with some of our time, because I know for a fact that we can sit in our office with the door shut for an hour if we set the boundary. It does work. It does work. And don't respond to anybody that breaks that boundary unless it's an emergency. Don't open the door up for them and say, do you have to talk to me? Don't do that. Don't do that. Just say, I'm in my time, hang a sign on the door. But what I want you to do, and I like to do this on Sunday nights, but you could do it Monday morning when you come in, you look at the week and you put on your calendar, like whatever days work for you. Maybe on Monday, you're going to aim for your morning one to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. Set an alarm on your phone, on your computer, on your Outlook, on your Google, like whatever you have, set an alarm. And make sure it goes off at 10 a.m. and that's your time. If you have to reschedule it for some reason, and I'm not saying cancel, reschedule, put it in the afternoon. Or if Wednesday, all your teachers are in, no one's going to be on vacation that day, you're set up for success, put it on Wednesday. Now Wednesday's going to have 3 hours instead of 2. You're like trying to get a time in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. That way you get 2 hours. If you want to do them back to back, fine. I'm telling you right now, if you have other people in the office with you, take 2 or 3 hours a day. There's no reason why you can't shut down for those times and really be intentional. Your projects will move along better when you have this intentional time. And other people can answer those questions and you can figure out why people are calling in and ask for questions. Or maybe that time you can spend this with how are you going to train your teachers better with behavior management? That could be something some of you are working on. Looking for resources on it. Figuring out what you're going to do so that they don't keep calling the office. Maybe that's why they're calling the office. Really be intentional with this daily routine of an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon, or the 2 hours the other, whatever works. Sunday night, I want you to sit and look at your calendar. Book them like they're a tour, like you're getting paid for them. Book them. Book them. Don't be, oh, I feel bad, I want to be available. Your teachers are not available when they're teaching circle time. No one's going to go in and interrupt them, stop them. They're doing something. And think of yourself that way. That's why I always try and compare it to the classroom. We're not going to let the kids overtake the entire circle time. Well, of course, they'll like participate in it. Because I say that because I got an message once when I said it, that I was like, children need to be talking in the circle time. I'm like, I know, but I'm just saying. We're not going to let one child completely overtake the circle time. We're going to make it appropriate. It's for everybody. Same with your time in the office. It's exactly the same thing. Set the boundaries with the people. Quite all right to do that. Put your calendar out for the week, book your time, and message me on social media if you're stuck with that and you just feel so bad, because I'm going to pep you up. You can do it. The third thing I wanted to show you today is that really getting the team involved in it. It's super important when you're working on these projects. If it has anything to do with the team, that you make sure that you get everybody on the same page with it. I can tell you my first summer that we had our first summer, so that was, and then the September, it was like less than a year from when we had first opened, but we closed the Friday before Labor Day to get ready for the school year. And the teachers, like, I thought they were doing things to get ready. Like, I had no idea what I was doing back then. I really didn't. And I then had a list of things they wanted. I think my sister was giving people lists, but we weren't like intentional at all with that. We just assumed, which was like ridiculous to do that. But so the day comes and it's a complete chaos. Nothing I wanted to get done. We ended up working all weekend, my sister and I, clean it like it was more cleaning we wanted done, stuff like that. And preparing stuff. What that taught us was we start our back to school planning in July. And then we're all on the same page. Everyone knows what's expected. But so when you have everyone on the same page and know what to expect and know how to do the thing that you want them to do, the better you're off. And so, for example, like we do classroom reflections at our school, and we introduced them 3 summers ago. So we're going into our 3rd summer, our 3rd school year doing classroom reflections, and they're amazing. If you're not doing them, you should. And if you don't know about them, message me on social media because I have a workshop on it. It's amazing. But we reflected on how the reflections are going, and we're up-leveling them this year, not making them harder, but just different with a twist. But we need to talk to the team about it. We can't just say, oh, here's the new form and call it a day, because they have been so impactful to the team. Now, really want to make sure that they get it going. What we did was we have this, like I told you, the Friday before staff training day, we have that closed and we get ready for the school year. A couple years ago, we added the Thursday afternoon. So 12 to 5 on Thursday, we shut down, and then we're closed Friday. And so from 12 to 5, we are doing a workshop on classroom reflections. We're actually invited a couple of centers to join us that day. We're excited to do that together. That is going to set me up to get the team completely integrated into this project that I have. Now, some projects you don't need them to be integrated in. Some projects you do. This you definitely would if classroom reflections. Think about it though. Think about if want to do your onboarding and make time saving, and you're making videos and you're like going to do specific training in the classrooms with your best teachers. How amazing would it be if this summer, at the end of the summer, you took time, if you have a day that you close, or just a staff meeting at night where you're bringing in the whole team and saying, okay, like we're going to up-level onboarding. And so let's talk about your role in onboarding. They need to be connected with the new people. Make it a point to reach out to them. And then talk about that. We do an onboarding checklist, like what teachers need to do in classrooms, and really think about that. Think about how you could have that conversation with them then, so that you're not doing it on the fly and it's more thoughtful. And that's like you could do a little bullet point list that you could talk through at your next staff meeting. All right, the last strategy 4. Just think about the September test, I call it, because, again, first summer was so bad. And I had done a project that was so ridiculous. It was like something to do with marketing, but really not necessary. Strategy 4, the September test. Before you dive into any of these projects, I really just want you to take a second and think, is this going to be impactful for either you, the office, the parents, the teachers? Like when you reflect on how the last school year went or how life is right now, that you're like, oh, I wish this wasn't happening, or I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I had more time. What project can you work on this summer that is going to be that impactful to help you? Really think through what you think that might be. All right, so those are our 4 tips for getting things done over the summer. And the first one, again, was simplify your big projects. Back to that. The 2-hour daily rule, like you're booking 2 hours. 3, team integration. Make sure that you make the time to get the team totally invested in your project if it involves anything at the center they need to do with. And 4, the September test. Making sure that you are really working on something that's going to really impact you. And not that your other projects aren't important, but think about ways that you can put that on a different time of the year and get done. Now let's talk about the real secret to getting it done. Treating your project goals like important business appointments they are. The directors who get things done during the summer aren't the ones with more time. They're the ones who protect their project time, like they would protect a licensing visit, right? You're not going to skip out on a licensing visit. You definitely shouldn't skip out on strategic projects you want to work on. This means literally putting it in your calendar, not just writing on a to-do list, work on handbook, but blocking specific times and treating them as unmovable. And when someone asks to schedule a meeting during your project time, you say, oh, I'm just not available then. How about this time instead? just like you would for any other appointment. It also means setting boundaries with your team. Let them know when you're in project mode and what constitutes a true emergency that they can interrupt you. Most things can wait an hour. Train your staff to handle routine issues independently during your project time and give them clear guidelines about when to interrupt. Create a physical space that supports your project time too, whether it's closing your office door, working from a different location, putting on headphones. Signal to yourself and others that this is focused work time. I have a friend who literally puts a sign on her door that says project time, emergencies only. And it works. Track your progress visually, whether it's crossing off days on a calendar, moving tasks across a project board, or checking items off a detailed list. Make your progress visible. Summer can feel like a big blur, and seeing concrete evidence of what you've accomplished keeps you motivated. Mostly be flexible, but not wishy-washy. If something urgent comes up and you have to move your project time, immediately reschedule it for later in the day or the next. Don't let one missed session turn into a week of missed sessions. The difference between successful project completion and summer regret often comes down to how quickly you get back on track after an interruption. Your summer doesn't have to slip away. Pick your one project this week and be intentional about adding it to your calendar. And if you're a member of the club and use the success map, you already should have your project time on your calendar. Make those appointments with yourself and keep them. Block the time, set the boundaries, and protect your project hours like valuable business investments they are. Because here's what I know after 20 years of owning my center. The director who finishes the summer with meaningful projects completed aren't just lucky, they're intentional. They understand that busy and being productive aren't the same. They know that hoping for time to magically appear is losing strategy. They plan, they protect, and they persist. And when September rolls around and you're watching your other directors scramble with the same problems they had last year, you'll be the one with systems that work, processes that flow, and the confidence that comes from being prepared. That's what intentionality gets you. Not just completed projects, but the competitive advantage of being ahead of the game instead of constantly catching up. What's it going to be this summer? Another season of good intentions and summer regret? Or this summer you finally get intentional about making real progress? The choice is yours, and I want you to know I'm rooting for you. And I also want you to message me on any of my platforms, or if you're on my email me. I want to hear about what project you're working on so I can cheer you on for that. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.